Hey guys, today I'm going to be covering the Kickstarter launch of Street Fighter the Miniatures game. As you may know, this is actually developed by YouTube's very own Angry Joe, who I've been a happy subscriber for since a time period where he only played the Xbox 360. And no, he did not support this video. We've never spoken, though if he wants an early review, he's more than welcome to email me. Additionally, work on the card decks was provided by Alex Toon, who is also featured on the Angry Joe show quite often. Anyway, this game is set for 14+, though judge your children when it comes to the rules complexity, as there isn't really much of a theme issue here, and the game supports 1 versus 1, and then various multiplayer versus modes. For a normal 1v1 game, it should only take about 30 minutes, and for multiplayer options beyond that, simply set 15 minutes per player. Speaking of multiplayer, this supports 1 to 6 players. Sadly, I do not have any information on how solo play works, but here is the breakdown for multiplayer modes. So there is a normal free-for-all, as well as team modes such as 2v2, 3v3, etc. And then there is the boss mode, which is a 1 versus many type game that supports 4 players, so 1 versus 3, where one player is a powerful boss character. Gameplay is card-based, and is themed after the actual video game with named moves and playstyles for all characters. As with any good fighting game, there is the ability to bluff and call out a bluff, and that is key to preventing your opponent from unleashing powerful moves or combos, and opening up the ability to deliver your own. All of this is accomplished with very large collector-sized pre-painted miniatures on a stage map that has 3D interactable terrain. Note that by collector size, they mean 65mm to 85mm tall, in case you were wondering how that compares to most miniatures you see on this channel. The game has been in development for 2 years, and actually is the first of a trilogy of fighting games that will all use the same core mechanics, meaning eventually you can intermix them. The next game will be based on Mortal Kombat, and the third will be Dragon Ball Z. The gameplay is actually pretty simple, with cards adding more complexity. Essentially you draw, move, and then fight. You draw 2 cards at the start of the turn, then move up to your limit, and then take 2 actions that are repeated as much as you wish, and that includes move, draw, or play a card. When playing a card, you have several options, including strikes, specials, or projectiles. You can also bluff, which means as the defender you have the option to block or counterattack. Blocking allows for a strict 2-die roll for defense, but if you think you know the card type played, you can try to counterattack the strike, special, or projectile, which allows you to discard that attacker's card entirely and perform the counterattack, usually causing damage to them. While fighting, you will also build your meter gauge, which you can use in small increments to enhance certain attacks or save up for a powerful super or ultra combo. These fights are fast as well, as with typical fighting games, it's best 2 out of 3 wins. So what about the actual Kickstarter details? Well, thankfully this campaign is another very straightforward one, with only 3 simple to understand pledge tiers. The base pledge is $80 and includes the game only, no stretch goals. The next pledge tier is $120, at least it was at the time of recording. It supposedly has been increased so they don't lose money at this tier, but no price point was given. I suppose that's a good segue into telling you that the Kickstarter link is in the description below, and that this is the only known change for the rest of the video. Anyway, at this point you get the boss expansion that includes M. Bison and Akuma, as well as all stretch goals. While it'll be a bit more than $120, the listed MSRP is actually $240, so there's a lot of room to still get some savings here. The final tier is for $280 and includes the base game, stretch goals, and the 4 available character expansions themed after Street Fighter Alpha, 3, 4, and 5. This is the all-in pledge, and I must admit I'm surprised to see a sub $300 pledge here. So what's included in each tier specifically? Well, with the base pledge, it includes Ryu, Chun-Li, Ken, Zangief, Sagat, and Vega. Also included are 4 maps such as a dojo, Air Force Base, and a shopping district. As well as thematically appropriate 3D terrains like trees, rocks, crates, lamps, etc. Note that the terrain props are currently cardboard standees. Then, of course, it also includes a ton of cards, 428 to be exact for all the character decks, boss decks, event decks, and reference cards, some dice and tokens, and some player boards. The boss expansion set includes Akuma and M. Bison as mentioned previously. In the all-in pledge, you also get all of the expansions listed next. Every expansion adds 4 characters, and note that you can also add any specific ones you want from a lower tier pledge for $40 each, which is, $10 per character. The Street Fighter Alpha expansion includes Karen, Sakura, Dan, and Armika. Street Fighter 3 includes Alex, Ibuki, Q, and Makoto. Street Fighter 4 includes Juri, Copy, Sea Viper, and Guy. And finally, Street Fighter 5 includes Nash, Rashid, Nikali, and Laura. There is a Stage Select add-on for $30 that includes Cosmic Elevator and Jurassic Era Research Facility maps. I'm not sure where this is included in the pledges. But really guys, that's all I have at the moment. Again, be sure to check out the link to the Kickstarter below. Additionally, down there you'll find a link to a video of Angry Joe live streaming lots of components and beyond of the Street Fighter game. Yes, if you skip toward the end, you can see Mortal Kombat and DBZ maps as well as some Dragon Ball Z miniatures. Lastly, while you're down there in the description, if you liked the video and wish to see more coverage of upcoming games, be sure to subscribe and perhaps check out my Patreon for further support and interaction. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.